Hey YouTube, we just peaked top 5 in the world. I'm currently number 10 after a good night's sleep, but I'm currently the only NA player consistently in that top 10 in the highest rankings of Pocket, and you can catch my gameplay over at twitch.tv/soulserve, and there will be a YouTube stream I'm working on coming soon. Charizard is one of the most popular Pokemon in this entire franchise, so you know when it was one of the front mons in their Pocket release, they had to give it that special rub, and that rub is Crimson Storm. For 4 energy, this monstrosity deals 200 damage, a number to this day, 5 expansions later, is still enough to one-shot every single Pokemon, unless you're like Gyarados running Giant's Cape in blue. But if that's the case, then you're like Gyarados running Giant's Cape in blue. So like, I mean, for today I'll be telling you why you should use Charizard, its strengths and weaknesses, how to optimally build a Charizard deck, and I'll show you the 6-game stretch I had to reach rank 5. To start us off, let's answer the question that will 100% pop up in the comment section if I do not acknowledge it. How good is the new Shining Revelry Charizard? And it's kind of just okay. In Pokemon Pocket, you are only allowed 2 copies of Pokemon with the same name, or card with the same name, which means this Charizard EX is in direct competition with the old Charizard EX, right? A card that deals 201 shots the entire format. But this card is not bad, right? I think that being able to charge itself is really cool with Stoke, and 150 with no drawback, besides being 5 energy, of course, is really good. However, in gameplay, that means that not only do you need to find your stage 2, which is already pretty inconsistent, there's only 2 consistency cards that help this, you need to burn a turn to use its ability, which means it's going to take damage, and then it can finally fire off attacks. I think that this card would be perfect if the Pokemon limit ever increases to 3, because I would have loved to run 2 of the old Charizard EX and 1 of this, because this can help in matchups like against the 1 prizers. But unfortunately, that is not coming anytime soon, and for as long as the genetic Apex Charizard is able to one-shot things, as long as there aren't 230 HP Pokemon around, it will be the better option. Now that we have all of that out of the way, let's talk about the most optimal Charizard build. You'll notice I have 26 cards here in this deck. We're going to obviously trim this, but we're going to talk about the important pieces, and I'll show you how I would build this. So Charmander, let's get this out of the way. I think the old Charmander is still better than the new Charmander. New Charmander, if you don't know, just deals 20 damage, no drawback. This one deals 30 damage, discarded fire energy, which is a pretty big drawback, but it's a move that when you are using it, feels so much better, right? We're in a meta where Magikarp is the top 3 deck, Gyarados is the top 3 deck, Magikarp has 30 HP, you can one-shot Magikarp. If you play against grass decks, right, Weedle, Execute, you can punish them with an Ember, KOs, one-shots. If you ever run Giovanni, you can also take out a Sprigatito. This Charmander is good, you're going to barely be using the attack anyway, but when you use it, you'll get way more use out of it than Combustion. Next up is Charmeleon, and Charmeleon, the new Charmeleon, isn't necessarily a strict upgrade. I can see you running a 1 Charmeleon line, but it is nice to be able to curve into it if you, of course, have an awkward lead, and dealing 40 into 60 is pretty impressive, I won't lie to you. Again, I've kind of explained it. This is the best Charizard EX. It deals 200. End of story. Moltres, of course, is the heart of the deck, the engine of the deck. Inferno Dance is going to flip 3 coins, and it's going to take that amount and attach it anywhere on your bench. Obviously, bench fire types. This deck runs usually only fire types, so yeah, you're just going to charge up that Charizard, get it to 5 energy, which means it'll be able to take 2 KOs, and you're just going to take 2 KOs against 2 EXs. And that is how you win the game. Of course, Heat Blast is necessary in a lot of the 1 prizer decks. With Giovanni, which I mentioned later, you'll be able to take out stuff like Hitmonlee, like the fighting 80 HP guys, Skarmory with Rocky Helmet, etc., etc. Of course, Professor Research and Pokeball are also core. You can't build a deck without them. Please just add them. The other card on this list is actually a must include is Giant's Cape. Giant's Cape, you must include at least 1 of these. I'm telling you, it's super important. It allows Moltres to get to 160, which is great against Darkrai pings. Like Darkrai can't like chip KO without red. Guys that deal like 150 can't obviously KO you. Things that deal 50 like Skarmory, again, have a hard time. And it's also important for Charizard in the Gyarados matchup. Also, just Charizard at 200 HP is really, really hard to deal with. You'll be able to Crimson Storm twice pretty easily. So 1 Giant's Cape minimum is core, and that means that you have 13 cards that you must include in your Charizard deck. With that, we have only 7 cards left to add to your deck, and I've actually sorted these cards all out by their roles. We're going to start with the first one. You need 1 to 2 retreat cards. These are going to be your X-Speeds, your Shaymins, your Leaf. X-Speed being the most versatile. It is a card that, you can click Professor's Research. It being not a supporter means after you Professor's Research, you draw like a Charizard. You can X-Speed out the Moltres, play the Charizard, immediately attack, right? I think that's really, really good, especially for energy conservation purposes. But it is, of course, only 1 energy less, which means that everything besides the Charmander is going to need an energy to be used. The Leaf, also really, really good. It is just going to be, all these cards are 2 or less retreat costs, so this will guarantee you a retreat. Of course, it is inflexible with research, but this deck is a very low supporter count deck. And this is the only one I'd argue you can run at like 1 copy. Maybe you can run 1 copy of X-Speed, but like this is the one you can run at 1 copy. This can be if you're running 1 to 2, you can run this at 1. You can still run it at 2. You get the gist. Shaymin's actually pretty unique, and what sets it apart is it's a persistent X-Speed for your basics, so it can fix a Charmander start, it can allow Moltres to go out, and you can use this multiple times. It stacks with X-Speed, and I think it's really cool. It's also anti-Sabrina, so you get Sabrina, right? You can just bring in the Shaymin can get sacked, you can bring in the Charizard, so it's really, really cool. I think it's a really good card. But it does bloat consistency, right? Your Pokeballs can now pick up Shaymin. Your Pokemon Communications can now pick up Shaymin Sky. So do think about that when you're using it. But again, if you're using Shaymin, I would run an X-Speed. Or if you're using X-Speed, you could probably just run another X-Speed. So that's your consistency, or not your consistency, your retreat cards. Up next is your defense cards. These are going to be your Giant's Cape healing items, like Giant's Cape. Up next is going to be the defense cards. If you want to add an additional Giant's Cape, here's your chance. If you want to add Shaymin, this one's going to be a persistent 10 healer. If you want to add Potion, your Pokemon Center Laters, yada yada, you kind of get the gist. I will say the one defensive card that also is probably a staple is Sabrina. Sabrina is a defensive card that can just slow an enemy down. Being able to switch out an opponent's active to stall is really, really freaking good. I really, really recommend this card in all of your builds. And it can also be used offensively, right? You bring Charizard, they have a threat that they're saving, like maybe a Gyarados. You can pull it and immediately nuke it. Really, really cool combo, really good card. Probably the best defensive card. Other than that, obviously filling it out, Shaymin, persistent heal, similar problem as Skymin. I would not run those two together. Potion is just 20 HP heals, very good in the matchups like Darkrai. Giant's Cape, I've already explained, and PCL, I've seen people talk about running to run Pokemon Center Lady, and that's mostly because, again, the deck is a low supporting count deck, which means that you can waste a supporter turn using Pokemon Center Lady. I personally prefer Potion because, again, Professor's Research to Potion is something that does come up often, but that's going to be it for your defensive cards. Moving on over, we have your consistency cards. There's only 2 consistency cards for Stage 2 decks, and that's going to be Pokemon Communication and Iono. You want to run 2 to 4 of these, so that means if you're running 2-2, if you're running only 2, if you're only running 2, I recommend Pokemon Communication. It is the best way to find Charizard. It's the best way to find Charmeleon. It's the best way to find just any piece that you need. Really good. If you're running only the 8 guys, your odds are really, really highly increased. Really cool. But with the Shining Reveille, we got Iono. Iono is sick. Iono is really cool. It has the effect each player shuffles their hand and to their deck draws the same amount, right? Yeah, it has defensive purpose. Don't kid yourself. You're not using this defensively. You're using this to fix your hand, to find the cards. Really cool. I don't run it personally on my list, which we'll get to, but I think it's really good. If you are someone that is an Iono supporter, Iono stan, use it. I think the only thing that will make me change my mind on it is if I get a full art, because like it's kind of clean, and I mean like I would want to flex that, but until I get a full art Iono, I won't be using it, as I value a lot of the cards in the wild card section. The wild card section is your have fun, freakatize your deck, right? I would say that wild card should consist of 0 to 2, and that's going to be your Giovanni's. I kind of talked about it. Giovanni Moltres KOs the 80 HP guys. Giovanni Charmander KOs Sprigatito. So it's really cool. I think that if you're in like Ultra Ball and lower, this is going to be a really good card. In my run to top 6, I ran it, but I realized that it might have not been the right card for me to run personally, and that is because the lack of fighting decks in Master Ball is just like, it's staggering. That said, Dawn is also really cool. Dawn basically moves an energy from one of your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon, which means that if on turn 2 you use your Moltres attack to charge up a Charmander and you feel like you can go on the aggro, you can Dawn up a energy off that Charmander, bring it to that Moltres. Moltres will attack for 70 on its second attack. Really, really cool. Mars is also a defensive card. Mars and Red Card, both of them are good. Red Card, similar to everything, right, is able to be used with Professor's Research. Mars is cool. It's can stop counterplay. You know, when you're playing these long con games, your opponent is going to have a hand size the size of Africa, right? So being able to Mars them is cool, especially if they take out a Moltres and you bring in a Zard, Mars to 1, limit their options. I didn't put it in the defensive cards because I don't think it's as necessary as the other defensive cards. And again, this is a wild card. It can affect the matchup. It's also very good into Sprigatito decks, as if they cry for help, you can Mars a red card them, and they're always going minus. Team Rocket Grunt. Why did I include this here? It's just another kind of defensive card, but it's funny. It might work sometimes. I did not run this on my deck, but you can run it. And why not? This is the wild card section. And that's pretty much every relevant card I would ever consider running in this deck. So let's talk about what I would do right now. I think for me personally, where I'm at in Master Ball, I would just run an X speed, maybe 2. I like Giant's Cape. I just will remove Shaman because again, I think that at the heart of every Charizard deck, it is a solitaire deck that like kind of only focuses on itself. So it's kind of silly sometimes for me to like really want to, you know, consider what my opponent's trying to do. I just want to have the 8 cards for maximum Pokemon communication consistency, easily part of my deck. I get where PCL is coming from, but again, I'm fine dropping all supporters. I don't think it changes any real benchmark. It might help with like Hitmonlee Cyrus combos, but again, I don't really play that in Master Ball. Drop the Pokemon Center. As I said, I'm not really playing Iono at the moment, but like I said, Giovanni, not really good in Master Ball when I'm not really facing decks that I would want to Giovanni. So I'm removing that. Team Rocket Grunt, while funny, I want consistency, not playing that. And I think Dawn is cute. I can consider keeping Dawn. I'll keep that maybe. I'll drop a Mars. And we're kind of at 20 cards already. But of course, this is how a list can look. I think I'm pretty big on Giant's Cape at the moment. I think I would want to run another X Speed. So I'll do this. And let's just drop a Dawn, right? Let's drop a Dawn. And look at that. I made a Charizard deck whose focus is primarily turboing out a Charizard, right? I'm running Pokecoms and Iono. And the Giant's Cape potion, right, is just for healing. Giant's Cape is so important. I can even consider just running 2 Giant's Cape. But a Giant's Cape plus potion is pretty nice to have, just in case you need that 40 health. And you can use this framework to build your own Charizard deck. Let's talk about some strengths and weaknesses. As I mentioned, it is a stage 2 deck. You will brick. That's it. The Energy Accelerator is a flip coin simulator. You will miss out on flipping coins. It's part of the game. I don't know what to tell you, right? It happens. But again, because the deck has the damage cap of 200, there's no such thing as counterplay to this deck, right? Like there's no counter Zard because like no one's prepping for Zard. And if you deal like 200, you just KO everything. So that's the benefit of using it. It doesn't really have matchups. You're just kind of playing yourself, which is also kind of a bad thing for me. I think it's like a bit boring, but I prefer it more than Gyarados because I'm a gambling addict. But again, Charizard's most popular mons. This deck, I think will, like I said, I use Charizard to climb out of Great Ball. I used Charizard to hit Ultra Ball 4 when I was stuck in Ultra Ball 3, and now I use it to hit top 5. So without further ado, let's let the cards talk. Otherwise, yeah, this event pisses me off too. I like your Gyarados deck, but no Iono's rough. Here's the thing, NMK, right? Let's say you like the deck, but you feel like you don't. Like the thing is, and I want to stress this, if there is a card that you want to change in the deck, please change it. I think that like that's such an important thing to kind of understand. Is like you're allowed to change cards if you don't vibe with them, right? I think that's so important. I'm getting all the cards. Heck yeah. Okay, I need to draw a Charmander, chat. If we don't draw Charmander, this is like, we're not gambling. Okay, come on, let's go. Charmander, right here. Draw. Pokeball. Pokeball into... Let me think, chat. This is a 1 in... This is a 50-50. This is a 50-50. We're going all the way. 50-50. Never punished. Never punished. I'm putting it here because they're gonna be able to Darkrai me. Now we flip heads. 3 heads. Right here. 1, 2, 1. I told you this deck is playing solitaire. Like I don't care what my opponent does. My opponent does not actually affect anything I'm doing. I'm just attaching all my energy to the Zard. So here's the thing. You might be wondering, why is he not playing the professor's research? Because I'm afraid of Mars. I'm afraid of Mars. And this is how we play. This is how you play the solitaire deck, chat. See, we got Mars. Yeah, potion's important. We're gonna probably add a potion after this. Shout out Chris Kiwi. Man's really called it. Yeah. Playing around Mars for nothing, and then I just got Marsed. You see? I love Pokemon, Charlie. I love Pokemon. So yeah, if you are someone who really loves playing solitaire, you know, I have a deck for you. I have a deck for you. Drop from top 100 to top 1000. Let's go. If you are feeling lucky
You can technically, we beat, look, if you want a deck that can be a top 3 player on ladder, Otaku, I have a deck for you, chat. If you want to beat the current number 3, I got a deck for you. That guy plays Tina. Oh my god, we're playing the mirror match. We're playing the mirror match. Brother, our battle will be glorious. That's true. But like, here's the thing. If you're clicking Iono, it's not mostly about your opponent. Like you can say that you're trying to mess up your opponent and you can like lie to yourself about that, but you're using Iono for yourself, right? Like you're going to be using Iono because you yourself wants to, like, you know, get something good. And if you happen to mess up your opponent, then woo, woo, baby, a triple dipple pickle. This game isn't over though. Made your next YouTube video easy mode. Whoever kills, yes. See, Snow Candle understands the matchup. The matchup isn't over until it's over. It's whoever KOs the thingy first. Old Charmander can KO Magikarps. Do I want a Sabrina here? No, that's fine. Because the old Charmander can one-shot Magikarp and get Weedle. All right, it's time. We're playing the real matchup. What's the reason the Charizard deck came back? Someone asked me how I'd build Charizard, and I felt in the mood to turn my brain off. I felt like, you know, there's a certain time in every man's climb to rank 1 where you just had to give in to temptation. Greek 22 asks, right? Sometimes you just have to give in to temptation. Tails! Heads! Okay, they are threatening a KO with the goat. Heat Blast! So chat, you might be wondering, why is he not using Pokemon Communications? What is he doing? Does he not want to Pokemon communicate? Do you not want to Pokemon communicate? There's actually a purposeful reason why I'm not clicking Pokemon Communications. Oh, hold up. Hold up, my opponent has tech. My opponent has tech? Let me think about this. I have to think about this. I don't think that they have... I think that they don't have... I'm going to professors here. I'm going to say that they don't have it. I'm going to say that they don't have it. And if they do have it, we dedge. But if they don't have it, scary. Actually, no, it's fine, because if they do have it, we can capture the Miltras with Sabrina. See, sometimes you have to know when to gamble, baby. They have 9 cards in deck, 2 in hand. I don't know what those could be, but I'm not trying to find out yet. Boom. They're using Rocky Helmet and Pokemon Center Lady. This is very interesting. Okay, do they have it? They have it. No. This is fine. Cause now I can attack this back for 70 twice. I can attack this back for 70 twice. If anything, I would have attached to Charmander. That might have been better. See, like this is what we're doing. Sciati. Is there a new Discord link? The current one in Twitch actually works. I forgot to change it in YouTube. That's my fault. Okay, no X speed. Because how are you fitting X speed when you have Rocky Helmet and Pokemon Center Lady? Don't piss me off. Yes! You see, this is how we play Charizard. Have you ever played Charizard with your life on the line? Why not Healing Lady over Potion? Because I like being able to professor's research into Potion. Wait, I feel it. Chat. This game is going to end. Watch this. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to Pokeball a Charmander. Professor's research. And then I'm going to double X speed. And I'm going to see the executor. I'm like, damn, you looking real fine, Eggy. Mind if I... Whoop. Watch this. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up, chat. Professor's research. Double X speed. Show me the X speed. Woo! 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 Triple! Ding, 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 ding. Anthony, they use blue. They use blue. I'm not gonna... No, so you never... Okay, here's an optimization tip. For people who are trying to play solo Charmander, the longer you hold PCOM, the higher your odds are. So don't use your PCOMs just yet. Speaking of, Sciati. Now I'm going to use my PCOM. Because it's basically like you want to save your PCOM until you need to use your PCOM. Because, like, what if I drew the Charmeleon? Because you can still draw the card, right? We're at 3 win streaking with Charizard at the highest level. Thanks to Greek 22. We are number 5. We're top 5. Using the Trollmander too? No, the Charmander is better. The new old Charmander is better than new Charmander. Yo, is that Moxie Marcos boosted? My goat. Thank you for the raid. How are you doing? Score is 12-6. Thank you. All right, chat. We need to grab a Charmander here. That is not a Charmander. We're gonna PCOM it out because if we don't get this, I'm crying. Woohoo! I love gambling. I love gambling. Watch the raid happen in real time. How was your stream, Marcos? What did you end up playing? I assume more Red Guy, right? Because it's the best format. Gambling always pays off. Let the spirit of Wolchien bless this game. Well, the spirit of Wolchien is currently bricking my game. Low key. But we're going to draw the professor's Pokeball. Oh, that's fine. Okay, this is not looking great, chat. We played Double Ice, Giratina, and Chicken Jockey. Okay. Do you think Ekans with Darkrai is good aggro? I saw Weezing. It was Darkrai with Weezing / Muck. I thought that was really good. I thought that was really good aggro. And they had like Dawn stuff. It was a really cool deck that this guy was running. All right, I need a draw. Shit, it's over for me. It's over. All right, we go next. And my autoplay is doing its job. Okay, we're opening up double X speeds. What if I turn one of these X speeds into Iono? I keep drawing double X speed and it makes me wish I had Iono right now. Like low key, don't piss me off. Okay, let's see what they end up doing. This matchup was hard, chat, by the way. Because you need to beat them without getting, like, Rocky helmeted, essentially. Youch! Okay, now they're also started. They're going to be able to attack me much earlier. When I play Zard deck mode. I mean, it's a 50-50, right? This really sucks. I remove Giovanni. I like Giovanni though. It helps me in other relevant matchups. But I get that. You can solve that by running one Charmander. That's true. You can. I've done that before. Okay, they're actually giving me an extra turn. They have just given me an extra turn, chat. Come on, Professor Research. Charmeleon! We're gonna Giants Cape you. And like this. 2 Moltres, 1 Zard line sounds sauce. Well, that's not 1 Zard line, it's 1 Charmander, they're saying. Can you explain why you never play around Sabrina? Because I'm a gambler. And I want to draw the goat. And if I get Pokecom, I can just win the game from Pokecom. That's pretty much why. Hope that explains. If I draw Pcom, I just can Pcom. I lose if they have red. I lose if they have red. Which means I was going to lose regardless. No, it's not to play because they're just going to bring in Origin Form Palkia. That's never to play. They're just going to attack. All that does is the same thing happens. We're going to double X speed out because that gives 2 energy that can get targeted. Like, that doesn't change the result. The only way we lose here is if I run out of time here. Please, 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 please. Because they're just going to bring it, like, all that does is the same thing, right? They just bring in Origin Form Palkia, attack again. Like, that doesn't change anything. All right, do they have red? Let's find out. I love this type of game. Nah, because the Moltres energies help too. They have red. GG's. Like, see, one extra charge doesn't matter. I'd do 2 capes. I'd be down. Is Zard a 50? Why Giovanni? It's for matchups that I need it, but apparently I haven't played any of the matchups that I need it. So maybe we replace Giovanni. Maybe add another cape and switch Leaf. I can see that. I can see that as well. I might just drop the Giovanni because I haven't played against the decks that I need it. So I just keep repeating myself on why I have it. It's good for fighting because you can deal 80 to the Hitmonlees, the Marshadows, the Pseudo-Widows, right? Because those matchups you can't just beat with Charizard alone. Yeah. So here's the thing we're going to do, chat. We're actually going to Professor's Research first, because this gives the highest odds of finding a Charmander. Which we don't find, which is okay. And now we're going to find our Charmander here. And now we go gambling! Also, potion's important for... I play Dawn. I'm aware of how that works too. All right, chat. Here's how this matchup works. You kind of just like, this is Charizard is like the deck where you get tired of matchups and you just decide I'm flipping coins. I don't like, I'm going to put it on the record here. I'm not the big, I love Charizard for Ultra Ball because I wanted to ignore playing my opponent. But it's a lot harder to justify in higher ranks because like there's a lot of Gyarados up here. And Gyarados, even if you get the lucky, you still like lose. It's very good into Garantina Darkrai now. If you're playing a lot of Garantina Darkrai's, I suggest just playing this deck that I'm playing. I should have attached to the Million. For what's the best deck for Ultra Ball? Well, this is awkward now. I should have attached it back. That was a misplay on my end. Best collector choice. I think just a strong deck that doesn't lose. That like sounds stupid, but I'm like being genuine. Do I play this? Because I lose if I get... It's basically, do I play around Sabrina or do I play around... I have a 1 in 5. I have there's 2 PCOMs in deck. There's 1 Professor's Research. I have a 1 in 5 of winning right here. We play this. We played a Moltres to avoid Sabrina. And we played the potion to force them to retreat. And we attach. Okay, we figured out what we need to do. Zard. What is the best way to play the Garantina Mirror? First Garantina to attack usually loses, but when you have Darkrai, you get to 170. So like wait till you get Darkrai plus red. If you're playing Mewtwo, then you just Mewtwo them. Okay, they have red, so like it's fine. Okay, here's how we win this matchup, chat. We have one way to win this matchup. We have 1 in 5 chance of drawing the Charizard outright, and there's 3 other cards in our deck. We're not guaranteed. Here we go. 66% chance. Right here. Right now. Charizard. The hero is here.